Trying to do a promo for the Moonwalkers with maybe the suggestion of Tom Hanks.
We don't know. We don't know that Tom Hanks is not going to be in that building right now.
He could be in there.
Continue watching to find out if I'm going to meet Tom Hanks. I'm on my way here to outer space. The path to the stars is open. There's Tom, our host for today. I feel like we're getting close to something.
So I guess this used to literally be a coal yard. The granaries where the brasserie isn't traditional in the coal yard.
Gentrification.
Spray water fountains.
Oh, cool. That's a nice trap.
Someone sitting in an office when they're turned off, just waiting to turn them on as a person passes above.
Destination.
We live in the space age. But what part of the space age do we live in? When I was born, the space shuttle was still going to and from the Earth to build the International Space Station. At that time, it had almost been 25 years since anybody had walked on the moon, since the last era of lunar exploration. Now, the voices of the ISS are slowly fading away as that mission comes to an end, to be replaced by something familiar but different. A new era of rocketry and lunar exploration waits, and that is one of the main inspirations of the show I'm about to see. The Lightroom is a theatre like no other, an immersive space in which stories like the space race and the Apollo program can be shown to their full potential.
We're about to go in to the Moonwalkers event. It's not a very not the most ideal day for just walking around the city, but if it was a nice day, this is a very cool place to hang out in if you're going to come and see Moonwalkers with Tom Hanks. Right down to the fact that there are little tables out here in this square which you can hang out at and have coffee, take away stuff from the Coal Drops yard over there, which is filled with lots of places to eat. Signs of the show are everywhere. As you can see, you're surrounded by little information panels around this square, and then you have this gigantic selfie trap right here, which if you go into, I'm sure you get taken into another dimension. But we're about 10-15 minutes away from when it actually starts. I'm going to try and check in a little early. The day so far has consisted of public transport, taking the undergrounds over to this part of the city because it started to rain. We were going to originally walk over. I say, and Nate's about to walk into the fountain.
Become one with the fountain.
There he goes. Nay is the facilitator of the getting here, and we thank him for that.
Transportation coordinator.
Yeah.
I will receive a salary, I'm sure.
Yes.
Commensurate with my lofty title.
Yes. He will be receiving a welcome coffee at some point. Look at Gales. We're set.
Yeah, job done. There's your reward.
There's your reward.
A pastry.
A pastry from Gales, one of the premier high street city cafes.
An end of the day pastry.
An end of the
fresh.
I can only do with what with the means I have available.
There's a Parisian chocolatier in there. They're probably
Probably something from there would be... We can buy you a chocolate from there if you want. I'm sure it'll be the price of a coffee. What's the time?
It's 3:48.
3:48. Time is slowed down. For those of you who don't know, the Moonwalkers is a special presentation thought up by Tom Hanks when he came to visit this facility for a different exhibition. Tom Hanks being a famous space nerd, I say that in the most complimentary way possible, and he thought that this would be a great place to give people the idea of what it would at least look like to walk on the moon. I believe it is due to the Lightroom's very unique setup, it is an immersive cinema of some sort, the likes you will probably not see outside of places like Walt Disney World. So
That's what they promise.
that's what, and we'll see. We'll see.
Will they deliver?
We'll see. Will they deliver? Who knows? The tension is palpable.
But possibly we are about to set foot on the moon.
On the moon. We are one of the few people here that will be here today actually who have experienced G-forces only 0.5 degrees less than launch escape velocity actually.
Due to our advanced NASA training.
You know, that's why we got asked to come here.
There's a gift shop.
Yes, but will they have Moonwalkers merch? That will cost them a star if there's nothing to buy in there. Okay. We'll see what's going on. Oh, I think there is. I think I see a Apollo stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 star right off the bat. Give me stuff to buy, and I'm happy, which is weird.
Capitalism.
Let's go. We're here in the Lightroom, just waiting for everything to get moving. I can tell already Nay's going to go and get some coffee. Bring me stuff. We've been given these goodie bags. The Moonwalkers, and we have, this is the command module on the other side, and inside we have the program for the Moonwalkers, A Journey with Tom Hanks. We also have the orange one, which is the flight director in nice astronaut orange, and a nice little drawing of how the spaceships are put together. So that's awesome. It's very nice when people give away little goodie bags there. It's a very impressive setup here. Very comfortable, very welcoming, very artistic. Over on the wall, you probably saw, I'll show you in a minute, probably run it with this, are the mission patches for about 7 of the moon missions. Looking forward to seeing what's going on. Apparently I have to film everything, so I will film until battery or data die. And I'll do my best to put together a really nice video for you all and tell you what you can expect for coming to the Moonwalkers with Tom Hanks, A Journey with Tom Hanks. And they've got a nice selection of merchandise over there, so we're going to be getting some of that too. Right, we're inside, and it's about to start. So we need to head down now, but it's very impressive inside.
We were taken through a series of rooms and passages, which sufficiently disoriented us from the outside world, so as to allow us to better appreciate the vast indoor projection space that the Lightroom shows occur in. Soon afterwards, the lights dimmed, and the first projection started, and the familiar reassuring voice of Tom Hanks spoke to us.
The moon has always been our companion, right? A friendly face, a bright, reliable presence that stays in our orbit no matter what. A guide that helps keep us on our axis. Every human being who ever lived on the planet Earth looked up at the moon. And it's given us our seasons. It's given us our day, the length of our month. And we've been moved by it, spiritually. We've invented mythology around it. We've imagined the gods live up there. We've written poetry and stories about it. But, in the 50,000 years of our human history, only 12 of us have traveled beyond Earth orbit and walked on its surface. And more than 50 years have passed since we last made the trip in what was called the Apollo missions. And it was destiny and curiosity and, our own human nature that made us go in the first place. And it's the same with fate and faith and that same curiosity that make us want to return. In an age which can feel increasingly divided, an international team effort is underway to take a new generation of astronauts back to the lunar surface. They are the Artemis generation, Artemis being the sister of Apollo.
We meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. And now, if America's new spacecraft succeeds, we will have literally reached the stars before midnight tonight. I shall say it over. We choose to go to the moon in this convenience with the other way, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
I know it's a cliche to say, but they just don't make speeches the way they used to, do they?
The moon was always two things at the same time. It was a stranger to us. It had a shifting face. It appeared in different places in our sky, in a different shape in our sky, and yet it was as familiar as our next door neighbor. We saw it every night. So there was a combination of familiarity and mystery. And now we were seeing it up close for the very first time. Every one of those other missions to the moon was a 50-50 chance of disaster striking, and every one of the other missions to the moon attempted something more difficult than the one just wrong.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Extraordinary.
Tom Hanks leaves us with the thought, actually. If we can send people into space, have them walk on the moon,
Then, honestly, we can solve anything.
Okay, we've just finished the screening of the Moonwalkers, and that's a very impressive show. It's a very impressive show. We're going to head out and we'll talk some more outside of the theatre, but it's a genuine wow production, I think, and it's really like no other documentary you'll ever see.
Pretty spectacular. So I knew the story. I've always been, you know, a bit of a space nerd generally, so I've kind of followed it all. But to see it in such spectacular detail and completely in surround and with huge surround sound, sort of brought it to life in a new way, and yeah, sort of got me excited again, reinvigorated for the next missions.
Absolutely.
I've always been slightly sad that, you know, I wasn't around for the excitement of the first lot, because I can't imagine how it felt to, you know, even to watch it on TV and to be a part of it. It gave a really good impression of what that must have been like. So yeah, it's got me infused for the next round.
Absolutely, I'll be paying attention too in November next year.
Yes,
Definitely now.
soon.
It is surprising. Do you want to say where anybody can find you on YouTube or the internet?
Yeah, so I'm a paleontologist, so not quite space science, but dinosaurs and all that sort of thing. So I'm on Instagram at fms.fossils is where you can find me.
Absolutely, and I will put a link in the description, as professional YouTubers do.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Well, we have just emerged from the Moonwalkers with Tom Hanks, a journey with Tom Hanks, which has been just shown in the Lightroom across there. In fact, we can now answer the question you've all been waiting for. No, we're not going to get to talk to Tom Hanks. However, that red carpet there will soon play host to the man himself and also astronauts from NASA, because the proper press evening is about to kick off over at Lightroom. I think that this is one of the most extraordinary visual spectacles I've actually seen. The press, the reviews, the website doesn't quite prepare you, especially if you've never been to the Lightroom before, for what it is doing in there. I think that it is Tom Hanks's view of the unconquerable optimism of space travel. I think that it is genuinely an inspiring show that reminds us all why space travel is cool and interesting. It's setting up people to be excited for next November's Artemis moon landing launch. And what better way to experience a journey to the moon than in an immersive space where you can actually walk around the walls of the place and look up at it and experience it much like the astronauts themselves experienced the moon in its totality, by turning around and looking at something new at every turn. So, by all means, if my opinion means anything to you and you find yourself in London, go and see The Moonwalkers with Tom Hanks. You will not be disappointed.
The Moonwalkers A Journey with Tom Hanks, is now showing at the Lightroom in London, and the tickets are available at their website. I would like to thank the entire team at the Lightroom for hosting us so generously. I would like to also thank Alyssa Beckner of the publicity team for inviting me to this very special event. I highly encourage you to go and experience it for yourself. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe on the way out the door. And I will see you for another adventure in Historyland very soon. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and in whatever you do in 2024, let's go into the new year boldly. And as Gene Cernan said as he lifted off from the lunar surface in 1972, that we will go, God willing, as we came, with peace and hope.